Welcome back to another video. Today's video is going over my entire Thomas Wooden Railway collection, what is left of it, because I've been selling so much of my entire Thomas & Friends collection on my eBay. And so without further ado, let's get started in taking a look at what is left of my Thomas Wooden Railway collection. This collection is still not complete. I am missing a few core characters that I really should have, but I just have not felt like buying anything Thomas related for quite some time now. So this is the current collection as of now in August of 2025. So starting out with the main characters, we have my classic Thomas. I only have one Mattel item in this entire video, actually two Mattel items. This entire collection is classic based because classic Thomas & Friends is the only good era of the show. And so no matter what, I will always cherish and have classic merchandise. So like I said, Thomas. And then we have Edward. Then we have the 2003 Henry that lives rent-free in everybody's heads on YouTube. Look at that glorious 2003 Henry living rent-free. Then we have Gordon. And then James from 1996, gorgeous. Percy, Toby, the 1994 round roof duck. And then we have my two Scottish twin engines, one from 1996 and then one from around 2003. I really do enjoy both versions of the Scottish twins. And then we have a 1998 Oliver. Then we have the original Boko, which is definitely suffering from sun fading. And then we have the original Daisy from 1992. And then we have Diesel and Mavis. So here are the classic Diesels from the show. And then we have Bill and Ben. And then we have Stepney. And then we have our first Mattel item, which is the 2012-2013 Flying Scotsman, which really is Mattel's best item, I think, ever released, next to the item that I am going to be showing you in just a minute. But yeah, the 2013 Flying Scotsman, I have already reviewed on my channel. A very good model. I really do enjoy it. Mine is also in mint condition, and this Scotsman now is going for more money on eBay than the original Flying Scotsman from around 1999. So that is insane. People really value this Mattel Scotsman. And then we have our Season 6 and Season 7 gang. We are missing Salty. That is one of the characters that I really should have. So here we have Harvey. And then we have Murdoch. Then we have Spencer and Arthur. So I really do enjoy this Season 6 and 7 crew, even if a lot of those engines are really pointless and don't really do anything in the show. But now we have our narrow gauge engines, which is missing Skarloey and Rheneas because the engines that I used to have, I just really didn't enjoy anymore. But I really do need to get other versions of Skarloey and Rheneas, ones that I do enjoy, so that my narrow gauge engines can be complete. But here we have Duke. And then we have our White Roof Rusty. And I am wanting to sell this Rusty and then swap it out for the original Rusty. The Rusty with the smaller black front does look much better than this one. I really am not a fan of this version. I do think it's good. I do love the white roof, but I just want the original version. And then we have Sir Handel, which I am very happy with owning. I really do enjoy this Sir Handel model over the previous one I had. And then we have Peter Sam with the updated funnel. Then we have Duncan. So those are my narrow gauge engines. Very small amount, but I mean, I got all the characters that matter except for Skarloey and Rheneas, of course. And now we come to my extra engines, basically. The engines, duplicates, different versions. So here we have Tired Out Faced Edward. That came with the Edward the Great set. Then we have my Surprised Face Spencer. So these two engines, very valuable. They do go for a lot on eBay. And an engine that is also very valuable, the 60th Anniversary Thomas that came with this 60th Anniversary set that I got brand new in the box and did a review on my channel. That's also where I got my 2003 Henry. But yeah, this is a very good Thomas. You did see this in my Thomas Wooden Railway series, where I debuted the episode Colin the Crane. And now we have my Tired Out Expression Thomas, Out of Puff Thomas, from my Thomas and Birdie's Great Race story pack from the late 90s. That came with the original Knapford Station, a Bay Bridge, Birdie, 2 passengers, some workmen, etc. Very good. I really do wish Wooden Railway would come back and do some story packs, story sets. Anyways, moving on to the final Mattel item in my collection, the Winter Wonderland Thomas that came with the Adventures of Thomas pack of that Mattel released when they took over. Now, I really do like this Thomas. I do think it is the best Winter Wonderland, snowplow, whatever, snow-covered, whatever you want to call it, Thomas ever released in the Thomas Wooden Railway line. Yes, this is the best snowplow Thomas ever released. The face is not bad. I really do like the fact that Thomas is well covered in snow. His wheels as well. His snowplow is the correct blue color. It's even on his cab and his coal bunker. Up top here, you really are not missing snow anywhere with the exception of the backside, which is a bummer. But as I said in my review, that is the only problem that I have with the Thomas, is that it's not on the backside. But anyways, very good Thomas. Very strong release from Mattel. It's a rare occasion they release something of quality, and this is definitely a good one. So those are all of my engines. We are just missing Salty and Skarloey and Rheneas. Now moving on to the rolling stock that I own and coaches, and then we'll get to roadway vehicles. Here we have the gray Troublesome Truck. Then we have the original Troublesome Brake Van from 1992. I do want to get a 1994 Troublesome Brake Van with the black roof. One day I will definitely grab that when it's in. I want one in mint condition, so that's why I'm taking my time looking for one. And also, I used to have 3 gray Troublesome trucks, but I've just sold them off throughout the months in the past year. But here we have the Express coaches, and then the Knapford Express coach. And then we have Annie and Clarabelle. And then we have Henrietta. Then we have the Sodor Mail coach. Then we have Scruffy from around 2006. And then we have Toad, the original Toad the Brake Van. And then we have the Sawmill car, the green sawmill logging car. And then we have Henry's sawmill log car. Henry's log car. And then we have Ada, Jane, and Mabel, the narrow gauge coaches. I believe Sir Handel thinks they are trucks, and Peter Sam really does enjoy them. That's what it says on the back of their box. And then we have the Sodor fuel tanker and tar tanker pack. Then we have the Sodor, Tidmouth milk tanker. So I love my tankers. Tankers are such a good piece of rolling stock. And then we have my 2 cargo cars. One came with Cranky. The other came with the Sodor cargo crane. And then we have the NW brake van, the Spiteful brake van. And then finishing out with probably one of my favorite pieces in my collection, Spencer's Duke and Duchess's coach. Very, very good looking coach. Coach actually just used frequently in the classic series as just a special coach, not even just tied to Spencer. So then we have my roadway vehicles and what is left. I did just sell Lorry 1, so Lorry 1 is no longer with us. So here we have the original Terrence with black wheels. I really do love this version. I love the fact that he's got his eyebrows. So yeah, peak Terrence right here. He's got his treads as well. Then we have Harold the helicopter. And then Bulgy the bus. Then we have Birdie, Trevor. Then we have Butch. Then we have George, Sir Topham Hatt's car. And then we have Elizabeth, the Sodor tugboat, Sodor Bay tugboat. This is not the original version. The original version had a black smokestack. Mine is a red one. So this one was later in the 90s. And then we have Caroline the car. So those are all of my roadway vehicles. I do want to add some more characters to this part of my collection, such as Jack and Alfie, maybe Byron as well. I had all of those characters as a kid, so I've already experienced pretty much every single Wooden Railway item throughout my life, you know, whether or not I had it as a kid or later in my life. So right now I'm just kind of sorting through my collection, seeing what I want to keep and add, and you know how it is. So there are my roadway vehicles. Here are all of my coaches and rolling stock, troublesome trucks, etc. Then we have all of my extra engines, my special face engines. Then we have my narrow gauge engines. And then we have, like I said, the main characters. We do need to add to every part of this collection. Rolling stock is in a pretty good place right now. Pretty simple, but it's kind of all you need. Anyways, I'm going to end this video at the 10.5-minute mark. So let me know down below what characters you think and what pieces I should add to my collection. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.